All right, so this is going to be the second parter to this video. We're going to start off generally going over a few names. There's only 4 names or so that I want you to remember, as we talked about Zachary Montague in the last video. This is important because some major things have just happened. So as you're seeing here, there is a plane ticket from Sean Daly Hutchison, I think from Toronto to Calgary. Why is this important? Because if you want to know about the Barry and Honey Sherman murder case, you got to understand that there was this law firm called HHR, Hainan, Hutchison, and Robitaille. Now, Scott Hutchison is the guy who actually runs the law firm. And funny enough, what people need to know about the Barry and Honey Sherman murder case is that Scott Hutchison's law firm, they were the ones to speak with the Greenspan team, the other team that was investigating the Sherman's murder, after the Toronto police said that the murder was a murder-suicide. Now, the Greenspan team said otherwise when they had forensic data proving otherwise. But here's my issue, right? The Toronto police say that it was a murder-suicide initially, but it's funny because a couple days later, they bring a forensic truck to search the sewers, and I'll reference that article in a minute, right? And it's so funny because if you're searching the sewers, I want you to imagine this for a second. Imagine Honey and Barry Sherman lying on the ground with their heads, basically fastened to this pool railing, right? To make it seem like they tried to kill themselves. Now, if you saw that, right, and you truly, in your heart, you believe that it was a murder-suicide, then why, Toronto police, why did you, a couple days later, have a forensic vehicle searching the sewers? Because if you said that Barry killed his wife, Honey Sherman, then why were you checking the sewers? Did Barry Sherman, when his neck is tied to a pool railing, did he suddenly decide to throw the evidence into the sewers that killed his wife, and then he went back and strangled himself? Or are you saying he killed himself approximately around the same time that he killed Honey? So you're saying what? That Barry Sherman went to the sewers and put evidence into... No, he didn't, because the Greenspan team confirmed that it was a double homicide. So then that's bullshit. You told the media, essentially, that you said it was a murder-suicide. At the same time, you were going in the sewers digging around through trash trying to find forensic evidence for a homicide. That's bullshit. Okay? That's bullshit. And it brings me back to the Scott Hutchison. Scott Hutchison apparently has a nephew named Sean Daly Hutchison. So who was the other person harassing me around the same time I first met Zachary Montague? It was Sean Daly Hutchison, right? And look, I got nothing against Sean, right? I got nothing against you, buddy, but you're kind of being a dick, okay? You threw your bag at me, and then his plane ticket fell out of the bag. So after him coming to my door, acting like a creep, he knocks on my door, and he's just silent. He just smiles at me and stares at me, right? Just being a creep. And the next day, I'm like, hey, man, what was that about? And then we get into a confrontation, which thankfully, he wasn't violent, but he did throw his bag at me. So, water under the bridge, Sean. But look, buddy, I'm sorry, but I gotta use you now as my pawn to solve the Barry and Honey Sherman murder case, as your dumbass was caught harassing me when your uncle, I don't think your uncle wanted you to do that, right, Sean? This is his plane ticket, Sean Daly Hutchison. All right, now, as you can see, Sean here, University of Toronto, Department English, Bachelor Philosophy. Sean Daly Hutchison, that's my guy right here. He lives on my floor. So, hey, look, Sean, I'm not trying to call you out, but now you're in the Barry and Honey Sherman investigation Wilkie team. You're on the Wilkie team's evidence list compilation. Congratulations, Sean. Anyways, so why does this matter? Well, you see, again, it all goes back to HHR, the Hainan, Hutchison, Robitaille, LLP. They were the ones helping out on the Sherman case when Hank Insignia was back at Toronto Homicide Unit, HHR. Hainan, Hutchison, and Robitaille. Yeah, and here you can see, oh, what do you see here? Scott Hutchison. This is Sean Daly Hutchison's uncle. Yeah, and he works for this law firm. So how do I further connect the dots here? Well, there's a few more people, right? Because what's weird enough is that this guy, Joseph W. Bovard, is an honorable judge who retired. This guy lives a couple doors down from me, like Sean, funny enough. And you know what's really fucked up? Is I got one of these today saying that someone needed to get into my apartment, right? I got 2 of them in 2 days. So I recently, my computer was fucking, there was some message on my computer saying that it was, oh, here it is. When I got home and rebooted my computer, and know this, my computer has no internet. I did not configure my own computer at all. So I'm not a techie, I don't know tech stuff. I came back and my computer said, clear CMOS information, BIOS has been reset. Reset by who? I don't know. Kind of seems like someone was in my apartment though. The fuck? So anyways, as soon as I get home from the library, which you know, this is what this story is about, right? If these people are gonna call me crazy, they're gonna say I'm stupid, but yet Toronto police has this much surveillance on me, right? They have this much surveillance where they don't just send police after you. They send honorable judges, they send lawyers, they send doctors. It's a fucking class war. And I'm tired of these fucking people thinking that they're entitled to do whatever the fuck they want. And you know what this guy, what's funny about our guy here is when I got home, before I even checked that my computer was reset, this guy is smiling like a smug piece of shit. I go into my apartment, I see him in the hallway, I say hi to him, I go into my apartment, he's walking up and down. So he's trying to intimidate me. These people are trying to fucking intimidate me because they know that I went to the library and they know I looked this guy's asses up. They fucking know. They're all in it together and this is what's happening, right? So again, sorry, let me just state this. Joseph W. Bovard. So why does he matter? Well, he lives a few doors down from me, even few more down from Sean Daly Hutchison. I overheard him in a conversation, which is documented in my civil lawsuit that I filed, right? I overheard something guy down the hall, effectively referring to me, Tim Wilkie. He says, oh, Mr. White, that concludes our business, something. So I'm like, okay, Mr. White who? Because initially there was a guy named Raheem White, and he went missing around this same time this guy had the conversation. But I found out that maybe that's not who he was referring to, obviously. Who he was referring to was Charlie White, HHR. So this is another lawyer that works at Scott Hutchison's law firm. Charlie White messaged Joseph W. Bovard, and guess what? A person a few doors down from us is also Sean Daly Hutchison, the nephew of Scott Hutchison. So now we have all these people nightly fucking wrapped up in a bow tie together, and why I believe that I was the suspect for burying Honey Sherman, and I was silently being accused. Huh, funny, it's almost like the police don't need a warrant for that. Really fucking weird. So yeah, Scott Hutchison's law firm, here you see the Toronto Star article, is when these reporters, they reported these earrings that were not taken as evidence. Right? Is this a pattern? Is this a pattern of police incompetence, or is this a pattern of police murder? Are the police implicated in the Sherman's murder? Because they sure do a lot of fucking sus shit to cover stuff up or not compile evidence or do things incompletely. Remember, Detective Susan Gomes did not do a DNA sweep within the first 48 hours, which is crucial to maintaining and preserving DNA evidence within the first 48 hours. Now, I don't know if you can see here, you might have to turn your screen a little bit. As I was referring to Zachary Montague, the undercover cop who was following me around, I confronted the Hamilton police. And after I did, this tracking data was magically disappeared off of my phone. As you can see here, they're trying to access my Facebook, my Google Analytics, my LinkedIn, my Twitter account. After I called the Hamilton police, boom, guess what? This tracking data is deleted off my phone. And of course, I already brought up the undercover cop, Zachary Montague. For the context, Joseph W. Bovard, Ontario Court of Justice. He's retired. Boom. What else do I have to go? Oh yeah, it says here, on the article of Toronto Star, shortly after Toronto police retained Toronto criminal history attorney Scott Hutchison, law partner of high-profile Mary Hennen. Yada, yada, yada. They told the Greenspan team to give them evidence. So they're saying, hey, we know you're investigating the team. We want the evidence. Give it to us, please. They weren't playing nicely, were they? Kind of sus, kind of weird. But yeah, Hank Insignia, TPS chief hangs up badge. This was 3 months after I filed my civil lawsuit alleging some shit against him. So these people, fucking Joseph W. Bovard, I see this fucking guy in my hallway the moment after I posted the Zachary Montague video, and the same day after I came back from the library looking up this dude. I don't know, it's just weird. Yeah, he lives a couple doors down from me, but it kind of seems like these people are trying to fucking intimidate me, and I really don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate people calling me fucking crazy, right? People calling me crazy and saying that I have no right to be concerned. I have a real right to be concerned, actually. Okay, and I filed my civil lawsuit, so take it up with them. Take it up with them. I'm not punking out. No one's gonna fucking threaten me, okay? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who you are.